Hi, lovely and darling viewers. It's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing another book haul. This one is from May through August of 2017. May, June, July, August. Yeah, May through August. Yeah, kind of been hoarding my book haul, I guess. On the other hand, I bought a lot of brand new books, which is unusual for me, which is part of the reason why it took me so long to do one, because I was waiting till I had, enough books to make it interesting. So, let's go with it. The first book is The Art of Us by Terry Wilson. I won this book as part of a Goodreads giveaway, so fair warning. This one is sort of a retelling inspired by Pygmalion / My Fair Lady. We have Professor Higgins, who teaches art history at this college. So in order to make tenure, she needs to impress her bosses with this art show, and she loses an artist. So she needs to find a new one. So she discovers that this guy she keeps meeting, Tom, is an artist and tries to get him to be the artist in the show. Only the two of them maybe don't get off to the best start. There's a lot of fighting and bickering, and I ate it up, basically. Moving on to books that I bought with my own money, I bought The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This one tells the story of Star, and she witnesses her best friend being shot by a cop right in front of her. Her best friend was unarmed, doing exactly what the police told him to do, and he gets shot. And this book deals with the ramifications of that, not only in Star's life, but to like the entire community around them. So it's inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and I had to buy this book after reading it. Like, I needed to have it. I think it's important. I think Angie Thomas totally deserves my money for this book. Like, had to get it. It's also really, really well done. It's amazing. Another book that I had to buy after I already read it is Geeky Ella by Ashley Poston. This is a Cinderella story, but it revolves around a bunch of nerds, basically. So in this book, we have Ellie, who is obsessed with the show Starfield that she grew up watching with her dad, and her dad helped found this big Comic-Con type thing called Excelsior Con, and she wants to go, but her stepmother is not having it, and so we get to see Ellie's attempt to go to the Comic-Con. The male lead is Darren, who is gonna play the lead in this movie based off Starfield, and it's totally cute to see the two of them because they just start texting back and forth. Ellie doesn't know that she's talking to the star of the show, and Darren doesn't know that Ellie runs this blog that just totally roasted his casting. So it's really cute, adorable Cinderella retelling. I totally ate it up. It is so geeky and nerdy. It is amazing. Okay, so moving on to books that I haven't actually read yet. I got An Echo in the Bone by Diana Gabaldon. This is one of the books in the Outlander series. I have actually only read book one, Outlander, but I really loved it, and I've been finding the other books slowly used, and so I finally was like, I need to own the whole series, so when I saw this one at the bookstore, I bought it. I really actually don't want to know what happens in this one because I am so far from getting to this point that I feel like reading the book blurb is going to spoil stuff that happens between book two and this one. So that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I know it's Outlander. That's all I needed. This book series focuses on Claire, who is a woman from the 1940s who travels back in time to the 1740s Scotland, and she gets separated from her husband and ends up becoming involved with Jamie, who is from Scotland, and it's a totally adorable romance with tons of adventure and intrigue, and they're amazing. They're definitely adult books, but amazing. Okay, it's my non-spoilery description of Outlander. Please don't tell me what happens in this book. So I also bought Paper Hearts by Ali Novak. This one is a young adult contemporary romance. I really, really, really love The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, which follows this band called The Heartbreakers. Book one focuses on Stella and Oliver's relationship, Oliver being the lead singer of the band. This book focuses on Alec, who is one of the other members of the band, and his relationship with Felicity. And I haven't read it yet. I don't need to know anymore. I know that The Heartbreakers was amazing, and so I am really hoping this one is also amazing. I also bought A Royal Mess by Tyne O'Connell. This one binds books 3 and 4 of the Calypso Chronicles, which I read the first 2 books, really loved them, and then found out that the library did not even have book 4 anywhere in the system at all. So I was like, I need to buy this. I need to know how this series ends. So the Calypso Chronicles follow Calypso Kelly as she goes to a British boarding school, and she starts this flirtation with the Royal Prince of England, like the heir to the throne. And I love it. It's got some Mean Girl type stuff going on in here. Got the British boarding school stuff going on in here. Calypso's American, so we've got that twist going on in here. But mostly I love the royal romance, and I'm excited to find out what happens. I also bought this absolutely gorgeous edition of Time Lord Fairy Tales, which is a Doctor Who collection of short stories. There is another version which is bound in like one single book, and that's what I was looking for when I went to the store. But then I saw this one, and I had to have it. So each story is bound individually as its own small mini book, which I really love. And these are just retellings of normal fairy tales, but with Doctor Who twists. So they happen on alien planets or have the Doctor appearing. The books themselves are just so cute and tiny. They've also got like this wood cutting art, block art, which I adore. Like this collection is so aesthetically pleasing. Love it so much. So I started reading these. I'm about halfway through them. I am loving what I've read so far. The fact that they're small and bound separately makes it really easy for me, though, to just read one and just stop, which is why I haven't finished them, even though I started them in May. I'm digging it. I also don't want to get to the last one and then be done with it, is the other problem. So I think this is gorgeous. This slipcover edition is just fantastic. I love it. It was definitely worth the money to buy these. I love Doctor Who. I also bought Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. This is a collection of essays she wrote about feminism and pop culture. It has to do with not only women's roles, but also racial relations, and also weight and body image, I guess. I really am taking this very slowly just so I can absorb every single essay individually. It's really amazing writing. This is the first time I've actually read one of her actual books, I gotta say, although I've been following her on Twitter for like months. I feel like I should finally read something, and I'm definitely loving this. I originally got it at the library, and then I just had to go back, so I'm like, I should buy it. I need to have this book. Okay, and then I only bought 2 books used this time, guys. Aren't you proud of me? Because normally, most of this would be used books. So the first one I got is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This one apparently has to do with Clarissa, who is a high society woman who's throwing a party. Part of me doesn't want to know much more about this book, so I haven't been digging too much into it, but I know that this is uber famous and like Virginia Woolf's most popular book, so I'm hoping that it's amazing. And if it's not, I only spent like $1.25 on it. So I also bought Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin A. Abbott. This is mathematical fiction instead of being like science fiction. So basically what happens is that this is a 2-dimensional world. Everything takes place flat, like a piece of paper. And I really loved the imagining of this world and what happens when you basically just have shapes. It's been a while since I read this, and honestly, I think the romance part, I didn't really feel that when I read it, like, over a decade ago. I think it's definitely time to reread this. Really short, it's only 83 pages, so it's a really quick read. I remember loving this book, so for $1.25, we're going to add it to my collection permanently. Yeah. So I bought a single comic. Just one. Only one comic in 4 months, guys. and it was Star Wars Rogue One, Cassian, and K2SO. This is a one-shot story following Cassian and K2SO from Rogue One, and this is really how they meet. I think this one's amazing and fun. It doesn't feel like K2SO until the end because this is pre him getting reprogrammed, basically. So we get to see Imperial controlled K2SO. But I really am digging Cassian in this comic, so it was fun. And then I bought a couple of DVDs in the last 4 months. I had to buy Beauty and the Beast on Blu-ray. I had to do it, guys. This movie is amazing. Total bookworm dream. I love the cartoon. I also really love the live action version. I totally love the fact that I own both of them now, basically. I loved Emma Watson as Belle. The singing is awesome. There are new songs in this. If you guys don't know what Beauty and the Beast is for some reason, it is a story of a young French girl who gets forced to live in this castle with this prince who has been turned into a beast. And the only way to break the spell is if they fall in love with each other. Only Belle's a total bookworm, and there is an amazing library in here. And just, I love it. I love all the book references in here, like them talking about Shakespeare and bonding over poetry. It's great. Needed to own it, guys. Had to. And then not book related, I don't think. I got Mrs. Doubtfire, the Robin Williams movie from the 90s. It is super funny. I love it. It was also like $4 because it's so old. So in this one, we have Robin Williams playing a dad who really pisses off the mother, his ex-wife, and she won't let him see his kids. So when she starts putting out an ad to find a nanny to take care of them, he applies dressed up as this elderly woman, Mrs. Doubtfire, and just so he can spend time with his kids. And I love it so much. This movie is so funny. If you guys haven't seen it yet, totally do it. I love the family dynamic in here. I love the father figure taking care of the kids, especially as somebody who grew up in a household where my dad stayed home and took care of us and did the house cleaning and stuff. I totally appreciate this movie. It is awesome. So there is my book haul / stuff haul for the months of May through August of 2017. So the complete list of everything I mentioned in this video is in the description below if you want to see what I bought and look it up for yourself. Also, links to any of these that I've done reviews for are also down in the description below. Totally check those out. Let me know if you have read or seen any of these and what you thought of them. And do you have any recommendations for me based on what I just bought? Peace out. I love you guys. And keep reading. Bye.